Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I wanted to talk some basketball. And since I went to my therapist today and she wasn't there, came all the way down there for nothing, I got a nice little hour to walk back from the train station. Very, very useless trip, but it is what it is. So yesterday I tried to make a video and then my phone cut off because it was too damn hot. It's about 95 degrees right now, so it may be the same thing. I'll try to make a two-parter if it becomes that way. But so yesterday I was thinking about the Portland Trailblazers a little bit because they have too many fragile defensive players. Matisse Thybulle, of course you're talking about Donovan Clingan, the guy they just drafted. Consider him fragile because he only played like 25 minutes a game last year. He's, you know, it's one of those situations where he doesn't do a large sample size. That was the comparison between him and Edey. For all the things that people said Clingan was better at Edey than, and he may very well be a more overall productive player, you got to take into account that Clingan's minutes were much less than Edey. Edey would play like a whole 40 minutes. Clingan would play like 20-something minutes a game. And in Clingan's situation right now, that can continue because he still has to share time with a guy by the name of DeAndre Ayton. So I don't expect Clingan to be a heavy fantasy basketball player. For those fans out there who enjoy fantasy basketball, I think if he gets a healthy dose of minutes, it's going to be a situation where he's taking on more than his body's used to, and he could potentially be a candidate for injury. So that's a real tricky situation either way, in my opinion. But I look at him as, though he's not necessarily injury prone, I would say that there's reason to question why his coach, Dan Hurley, didn't give him more minutes. And will he be able to take on that NBA 82-game schedule if the minutes shoot up? Will he be able to stay healthy? So that's my concern about Clingan. I look at Robert Williams. Obviously, he's in that category. He's extremely fragile and defensive-minded. I just think they have not enough shooting. Jeremy Grant was a 40% shooter. He can tend to be a bit injury, a risk. I ain't gonna say injury prone. I think that's laying it all too thick, but he misses games, probably like 25, 30 games a year. A lot of times. So it's like, even though he shot over 40-something%, I don't know if that's an outlier or if that is to be expected of him shooting the ball from here on out. So I don't know, man. I look at Scoot Henderson, the point guard that they picked up last year, 3rd overall pick. I have my concerns about his health as well. Even though he's built like somebody who's made of steel, he's been injury prone the entire time. He was injury prone with the G League Ignite, and he's injury prone. Last year he missed some games as well with the Portland Trailblazers. So I don't think it necessarily equates to him being overly durable, that he's so built. So I have my concerns about the Portland Trailblazers in general. Plus, he doesn't stretch the floor either. You know, Anthony Simon's obviously a fantastic three-point shooter, so he provides the spacing that they do have. Maybe you can add Chris Murray to that conversation if he gets any minutes at all. But you're talking about Duop Wraith, Jabari Walker, really nice bigs. I don't think you can count on them to stretch the floor. So for me, I see a bit of a spacing issue in Portland. I see a real need for three-point shooting. Now, they did pick up Denny Advija, of whom I'm a fan of. I think he's a fantastic power forward. I will cry ignorant in regards to how much you can rely on him to shoot the three. I just don't know. I really don't know. But I know he's a combo scorer, passer, can help you rebound, and he has a lot of different attributes to his game. He's somebody that I think is going to help the Portland Trailblazers a lot and could potentially end up there starting at that position, depending on what happens with Jeremy Grant and how much they like those other guys as well. But when you start talking about the Portland Trailblazers, I'm telling you, I don't see too much shooting there, man. I see a lot of defense, but I see a lot of fragility within those defensive players. So I understand that they had some interest in Vanderbilt. I would tell the owner of the Portland Trailblazers, defense holds a lot of weight in this league, but so does spacing, so does offense, so does other intangibles. And if you load up on nothing but defensive players,